Welcome to another podcast of It's Your Time to Shine, a podcast about being a mom in a modern world. My name is Juspreet Kaur, and with me I have my friend Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Jess. How are you today?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. Dropped off Alyssa at preschool. I have 3 hours of freedom.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Freedom is something I am so jealous of. I am lacking a lot of sleep this week. I had a family reunion. My husband's family was in town for a week. It was awesome. We had so much fun, but I am so exhausted, and I got a reminder that I am not as young and resilient as I once was.
Oh, I know. When you're older, you can see when you don't sleep. You know what I mean? If you don't sleep, you age 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. I actually woke up yesterday and I felt like I looked horrible, and I was like trying to cake the makeup on and, fake it till you make it type of philosophy for the next couple of days until I can catch up on my sleep, probably Saturday.
Well, how was it though with the family? It must have been fun though. I know it's like fun, but at the same time it's so much work. And then it's like, okay, guys, when are you going to leave? Well, no, I don't want to say that about your friends. I'm just saying, or your family. But
no. It didn't get to that level, but it didn't get to the when are you going to leave level because we had so much fun, but it's definitely exhausting. So we had 14 guests come visit us, plus the 5 of us. So there was 19 of us in our house. It was very interesting. So the planning for it was kind of interesting because my husband and I talked about different things that we should do. Like, should we get hotel rooms for some of the nights, or should we try to Airbnb a house in our neighborhood? Because I was kind of thinking just for people to have their own space to decompress.
Yeah, I like my own space when I go. I just want to stay in a hotel room, but that's me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would think the same thing. And so I actually thought maybe having their own bathroom would be the most helpful. And as we were talking about it, my kids were like, who's going to stay in the other house? And so I was like, maybe these cousins, could stay in the other house. And they're like, no, we have to stay with them. And I was like, okay, maybe those cousins could stay in another house. And they're like, no, we have to stay together, and we have to pull all-nighters, and we have to watch movies together. And
when you're a kid, yeah, that's everything.
Yeah, totally. It is funny. They tried to pull all-nighters. They never successfully did it. They fell asleep every time.
Oh, that's like me. That's like me. I try and then I fall asleep. First half hour. I've seen the first half of every movie.
I actually know that for a fact. I've experienced that myself.
Yeah.
In fact, whenever we want to have private conversations and not involve you, I don't know if you know this, but we just put a movie on and we're like, okay, we'll talk in 45 minutes.
Now that I know that, I'm going to sleep the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, okay, we'll see. We'll see about that. Good luck with that.
So the kids, of course, they want to pull all-nighters. They want to be with their cousins.
Yeah, they wanted to pull all-nighters and be with their cousins. They were so excited. It was really cute. I was really excited too. So it was Buttum's family, but we lived so close to them for so long. I'm really close to them too. So I was really excited about it as well. But it's kind of interesting, the planning, because everyone has not come to Texas before. So we've had lots of family reunions on the East Coast where it's convenient. Everyone's driving and we're flying in. This time everyone flew and kind of made an effort, and it was so important to him that I had these planning sessions with him. I was like, okay, let's try to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to plan.
He let you plan? He was like, Badam let you plan? I thought he was anti-planning.
Isn't that funny, how you and I get so much joy and order out of planning, and he is normally so anti-planning, but I really was pushing him because I was like, okay, 19 people is almost 20 people. 20 people is a lot of people. We really need to plan out what we're going to do.
Right.
So it was kind of funny. We worked on that a little bit.
I'm jealous. I actually get jealous of Badam and Samir because they're not as concerned, and they don't think about every second. They actually seem to enjoy the moments more, at least from where I stand, when I'm just tense the whole time, okay, got to get the dishes in the dishwasher, got to do this, blah blah blah, got to get all my work done before I have fun. So I envy them.
No, you're so right. I totally envy them. That is the case, and I think so I don't know, I'm torn because when I don't plan, then I'm stressed. And so I think you have to kind of embrace what you need. For me, having a skeleton plan is really important. For him, not having a plan, he's fine with it. But being married a long time and then having kids and kind of being in this parenting team, one thing that we've learned about each other is he knows that if he could spend a little bit of time with me and like put the framework of a plan together, that I'll be happy. And I know if I am flexible and not pushing a specific plan thing all the time, you know, as the only way, that he'll be happy too. So the planning for this was kind of interesting. We talked about like big activities that we wanted to do, and we had like a skeleton plan for each day. So we kind of knew what we were going to do. That way there wasn't too much discussion, because if you start every morning like, hey guys, what do you want to do today? You hear like 19 different responses. Highly not recommended. Like, do not ask.
When it's more than 3 people's input, I don't ask. I'm like, you know what? This is just going to be a mess. I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
It's my decision. That's it.
So what we did was like, we made these like note cards of like all these different ideas that we had that we wanted to do. So there's like, you know, going to the river walk and going to see the Alamo and go horseback riding. And then we had this.
Oh, sounds so much fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. And there was like, there's this local place here called Big Lou's Pizza. They have like a 4-foot pizza. And so we really wanted to do that just because the kids would be really excited, and we're trying to center it mostly around.
That's as big as you.
Kids.
4-foot pizza?
I know, it's a little bit smaller than me. I really don't like the implication, but I do have bad posture, so you're right.
No,
it
that's
wasn't
not
too
the
far
reason.
off.
It's because you're tiny and cute and you're so petite. It was totally a compliment.
Yes, it didn't feel like one, but that's okay.
It is.
You know,
it's clarified officially. Compliment.
Yeah. So I kept telling Bud, I'm like, let's plan out. Let's put a skeleton plan together. And then we'll be flexible, you know, like we can make changes and we can switch things around. And so like every morning I was like, hey guys, here's the plan for today. I like gave the run through at breakfast of like what the plan was. And I would just say, I would love to hear feedback if you are allergic to something that we're going to eat, or if you think like something is going to cause you unnecessary stress. And then
if
otherwise,
it's legit.
Yeah. Like, so we're like, you know, only valid complaints, like critical complaints, should come forward. And the kids were cracking up. They were like laughing. The adults probably didn't think it was as funny, but you know, you got to keep everyone on a schedule, or otherwise like it's not fun. Right. And so I was like, come on guys,
it's
let's
a balance
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a balance. Yeah.
I was trying not to be a drill sergeant, which is how I kind of operate my household on some occasions, like especially so like school starting for us next week. When school starts, I feel like a drill sergeant in the morning. I'm like, come on guys, let's go, it's go time, you know.
I can't even imagine school, kids, full time, 3 kids. Whew. I can't imagine a morning. I can't.
What I have found is that the sooner I wake up, the easier the morning will be. But
which means you have to sleep early.
Yes,
right?
Yes, and with things like Game of Thrones and Sense8 and other awesome shows out there.
And comedy especially. Yeah, late night, I hear you.
Yeah, very difficult. So I've kind of resigned myself to always watching late night during the day. And
yeah, no, that's true. I watch it I have the luxury. You're right. No, I do. I actually sleep early. I don't know what I'm saying. I sleep by 9:30 every night.
Oh, you do? That's awesome. I wish I could do that. We usually go to sleep around midnight.
Well,
but
you
I want
can't
to
because you have 3 children. I have one child, 3 years old, who sleeps also by like 9, and then I'm out by 9:30. So it's easy for me.
Awesome.
If I had 3 children the same ages as your children, I would never be sleeping. I was going to say kudos to you, but then I realized that was kind of a corny word, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. Kudos to you.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So family reunion was really fun. We had such a great time together. A really big reminder on how kids learn so much more from each other, like from other kids, than they do from adults. Like positives and negatives. So probably a little bit of detoxing required as well, because 7 days of waking up, having these huge breakfasts and huge lunches.
It was 7 days?
It was.
They were there for 7 days, not just a weekend?
Oh, no, wow. It was 7 days. It was like Wednesday to Wednesday.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it was pretty incredible.
No, it sounds fun too. You know what? It sounds fun too. I think that these are memories you can't, you know, these 7 days, for me, a person like me, it would be stressful, but I think that the memories your kids have, it's, you know, lifetime. These are the moments that you really cherish later on, and you fall back on later in life, especially when you're raising children, remembering how much fun it is. Like for a person like me, I might stress, okay, it's planning and this and that. But if I just step back for a minute and I remember how I felt as a child when I was with family and I was with my cousins, then I can step away from that whole over planning mode and just enjoy.
Yeah, I think you're right. I've been struggling with that quite a bit, and I think that just kind of accepting that there's no award for like being super organized and having everything together.
You haven't heard of the award? There's one. What are you talking about?
Is there one? I've never won it. I've never been in contention for it.
I just got nominated for the 2017 award for Best Organization in Virginia.
Did you really? I know you're joking, but if there was such an award, you would actually be in the like semifinalist list for sure, because I've seen your closet and it's pretty fantastic.
Can I say side note, I just cleaned my kitchen after like 3 years, because I did actually struggle with that after Alyssa, because I wanted to be organized, but I also wanted to spend time with Alyssa. That's actually a lot of what my documentary is about, and how at some point I just had to let go of the organization, because I can always go back to that, but I will never get Alyssa back as a newborn, back as a toddler. So I actually had to work on that to just change my whole mindset, reprogram myself, and allow my drawers to get dirty, which was really hard. Anyway, so with that said, I finally reorganized last week, 2-3 weeks ago, and my drawers are perfectly clean, and I open them up like 5 times a day because it's so exciting.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to do that. I was planning to do that all summer. It didn't happen. So maybe once school starts, I can take a day off and like help to reorganize my house. But this conversation I've had with my husband and others like so many times over the years, because when the kids were younger, I had that struggle to like have everything perfect. And I'm actually thinking back on the last week and thinking like, wow, I've really progressed a lot. Like if you looked at me, not that I had a problem, but we all have this struggle for perfection. And
no, it's actually really good to be able to have some sort of gauge. You remember how you were and what you did last week, and it's an accomplishment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I look back and I think like the old Juspreet, when the kids were young, I would have been up after everybody went to sleep, cleaning the kitchen, putting all the dishes away, putting all the toys away, and then like also be up early in the morning and make breakfast. And when someone asked me, hey, can I help? I'd be like, no, I got it. Just sit down and enjoy. And now I'm like, yes, come help. Flip the pancakes, and you can flip the bacon, and you can do this or that. And
I know, when I come to your house and I ask you to help, I secretly hope you'll say no. And you're like, yeah, go do dishes. I'm like, okay.
as you kind of slump away.
What happened to the old Juspreet who just didn't let me help? Anyway, go on.
I know. I mean, well, at what cost was I gaining that like badge of perfection?
You're totally right. Yeah.
But I remember early conversations with Bottom where he would be like, you need to relax, just it's okay. And I'd be like, I can't relax. And he'd be like, you have to. He'd yell at me, and I'm like, stop yelling, relax at me. And it was silly stuff. I look back, probably some of the wisdom of like just being able to accept what we can do. But on Saturday afternoon, I said like, hey guys, to the family, I was like, hey guys, what if I just like pull out paper plates today and we can use paper plates? And everyone was like, yeah, why didn't we do that sooner? They were kind of like looking at me like, yeah, we wanted to suggest it, but we know you're a perfectionist, and so we just feared for our lives. So we thought like, okay, we're not going to bring it up. And so I pulled out like paper products, and I pulled out like plastic forks and knives and all this stuff, and no one cared.
I bet you they were top of the line paper products, though. It's still
I mean, they were, of course. I mean, they were Chinette, and so I got to keep it classy. But but the truth is, like, nobody cared, right? They were all having fun. The kids were happy, and they were giggling, and they were having a good time, and they were taking selfies of each other and laughing for no reason. And I'd ask them questions like, "What are you guys laughing about?" And their only answer was like more laughter, because they couldn't even get the words out. And I'm sure that no one is going to look back and be like, but my mom had paper plates, and that really ruined the moment, right? So I'm trying to embrace that as much as I can going forward. And it applies not just to the family reunion was like a good spot check, but I think as we prepare for like school to start here in our household soon, all of these things, like maybe I'm not going to make like tags for labels for my kids, and I'll just like get a Sharpie and write their names on their school supplies this year.
That's what I do. Are you supposed to? I get a Sharpie and I just write it on her clothes because I'm supposed to label it. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, this is so much easier and it makes more sense, and I can use that time to like do jumping jacks in the kitchen with my kids, which is one of the things that we've been doing lately.
I am all about that. What can you do so that you can buy time for yourself? We all have the same time, and to do the things you want to do. So for me, it would be working out, reading, of course. So just to be able to get time to just work on me, and also spend time with my family as well. But I would much rather pay for cleaning if I can. Obviously, you have to be in a position to be able to do it. So we're very fortunate that we can. But if I can pay for cleaning and pay for a lot of little things, I would much rather pay for it and buy the time I need to do the things I want to do.
I think those trade-offs are so important, and I've said silly things to Buttum over the last couple of years where I'm like, I would rather not go out to dinner 3 times a week and have someone come clean instead, because that's a trade-off. Like, for one, Buttum loves cooking, and so if I can get him to buy into that, he'll usually end up cooking anyway.
Awesome. Right? He's good.
But it's he's a really good cook, and I'm laughing as I say that. He is an awesome cook. He's not just a good cook; he's an awesome cook, and he like is really ingenious. He'll come up with creative things, whereas I could just make the same like 12 things in a row and cycle through them.
Right.
But very early in our marriage, like we have so I had like the Punjabi mentality of like, I'm the wife, I should be cooking, and if my husband out cooks me, then I have failed. So that was like a hang up that I had, which is really silly. But we lived in a joint family, and so I felt like I was being judged by like the size and shape of my rotis, which is like the flatbread, right, that you eat, and then also by like the quality of my food. And the other thing that really I resented him for, because he was so good at cooking, and everyone would say, when a woman is a good cook, no one says like, oh my gosh, you're such a good cook for a woman, right? No one says that. They're just like, wow, this is delicious. And also, this is your job, because you're a mom and a wife, and therefore you should cook. But when a man is a really good cook, they're like, wow, you're a really good cook for a man.
Right.
You know? And so,
no, that's annoying.
I really resented that. Yeah, it's annoying. I really resented that. And then he would never clean up. He hates doing pots and pans. He can load the dishwasher or whatever, but he wouldn't do the pots and pans. And I would be like, well, when I cook, I clean up. And when you cook, it's a hot mess in here. And so that was like my resentment against that gender bias was like presenting itself in an unproductive way. But now we have this agreement. We've been married like coming up on 17 years now.
Wow.
I know, I can't believe it. But we have this agreement where
Wait, didn't it just pass? August 13th? No, August 27th. What is it?
19th. It's the 19th.
Oh, if you do an average of what I said, I got it right. Well, okay. Wow, 17 years.
I know.
Congrats.
Yeah, we'll have to do a podcast on that one day.
Wow. Yeah.
But so we've been married for a long time, coming up on 17 years, and now he'll cook and I'll clean, and there's no like concern, or I'll cook and I'll clean, or he'll cook and he'll clean, and it's not an issue. It's just like, we're in a family, we're running a household, we're being parents, and and we're a team, and we're doing what we need to do. And it took a long time for me to figure out that a family, whether you have kids or not, is not 50-50. It's like 60-40, it's 10-90, it's 20-80. Like it's varying on a minute by minute, hour by hour basis, and that's okay.
And it also depends on the task. I have certain strengths, Samir has certain strengths. So certain things might be 100 me, and certain thing will be 100 him. Do you know what I mean? So
yes.
If he's, I mean, he's kind of in, like, we have chores for him. And it's all, yes, this is completely gender stereotype, but that's where we are. But all the household stuff, taps and fixing things, and, fix Sally's bed and clean the garage. Oh, stuff like that. Anything requiring tools and fixing stuff is generally Samir. But that's 100% him, 0 me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm very happy with that. And as far as cooking for us goes, it's mostly me. He does not cook. I wish he did, but he'll do the dishes. But yeah, I think the difference is, you keep saying when you guys first got married, I think if I had gotten married the same time as you, I would have had the same things happen in my marriage. It's experience, but it's also age.
Yeah, no, I think you're onto something. I think age, and then also confidence, right?
Maybe
If
that.
I had more confidence early on, and I mean, our early years of being married, you're right, we were younger.
Right.
And so there was a lack of experience, but also we lived in a joint family, which is
that's so different. Oh, I can't even imagine. I couldn't do that. I remember. Do you remember before you got married, we went over to back then Budham's house, which became your house, to clean. We laugh about that today, right? It was fun. We went there. We had a good time. We walked to Kmart. But what was the reason? Was it because you wanted to impress your in-laws? What drove us? Or what drove you at that time?
It's such an interesting question. Like, in what world today would a girl who's engaged to a guy go and clean like her parents' house?
Exactly.
I have no idea. I can't remember what the reasoning was.
Right.
But it's a lot of this. So the concept of a joint family, which is very much, I think, like a Indian or South Asian concept of living with your in-laws and living with your other the other unmarried siblings in the house, I think comes with its own social stigmas and expectations. There can be some added stresses, and if you didn't grow up in that household, which I didn't grow up in that, navigating it can be really difficult as well.
Yeah.
And so I think that played into it. So, but now I look back, I probably wouldn't have said this consistently like over the years, but today, as of today, 2017, I can say I look back and that really honed my skills in a lot of areas, like to try to focus on the positives. For example, my conflict resolution skills are like pretty good. Mm-hmm. I can get along with a lot of personalities. And I will say, like, I am able to host a lot of people and like make food for a lot of people.
Yeah, see, I can't do any of that
without panicking.
Yeah, I can't do that.
If someone's like, "Hey, can you make food for 50 people?" I'll be like, "All right, I know what 50 people looks like, because my family, my in-laws' family, and my sister-in-law's family, so like 3 families would come together at the drop of a dime at our house, and I would know what to do."
Yeah, see, I envy that, because if someone asked me the same question, I would dial the closest pizzeria.
Which is fine.
I know, but I do get nervous. I'm not going to lie. We've had some people over, some play dates, and I just order pizza. I've had one dinner with 6 people, and I was stressed the whole time. I wanted everything to be perfect. Samir finally convinced me not to make the salad earlier. He's like, "You got to make something at that time. It doesn't matter if everyone sees you." But me, I just want everything perfect when people come. So I want to be able to just take out the salad. But you can't do that with salad, because salad doesn't taste good after 2 hours. So, but my point is, that is something I need to learn. I really do. I stress out during an event. I'm good about certain things when it comes to planning, or not over planning, but I stress out during events when there are a lot of people in my house.
So I have the same thing. We all have it to varying degrees. Right. And I think this goes back to perfection again, because I really believe perfection is the disparity between actuality and our expectations. And we're like, when our expectations are too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of this just comes with practice. So the truth of the matter is, it's funny, you guys probably get together with your friends and get a lot more than maybe we do. I can have people over. I'm not stressed about it, but I don't do it very often, because most of my time is like consumed with, let's do something with the kids, because I have that guilt of being a working mom, and I want to take my free time and spend it just directly with my kids and my family unit. So isn't it funny? My point being, like, isn't it funny how the things that we think we're good at and the things that we think we're not good at really don't matter in our lives in the end anyway, because things just kind of work out. We just have to accept that things work out and they happen for a reason.
Right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with making salad in front of your friends, and I also don't think there would be anything wrong if someone came over and you were making salad, if for you to say, like, "Hey, do you want to make this salad?" I know you would never do that. You're not there yet, but
I'm not.
It would be fine.
Let that be a goal, to get to the point where I can ask a friend who came over as a guest to make my salad.
Yes.
See, I called it my salad. Did you notice? See, I didn't even say the salad.
Or our salad.
This is how you know I'm not there yet.
Yeah, and to bring a little bit of like Sikh ideology or philosophy into it, because being a Sikh, that kind of governs a lot of, what I think and how we live. But our parents and our, like, culturally, they always say that food tastes better when you cook it together and you eat it together, right? So like, why can't we do that? Why can't we have everyone in there, have our kids in there cooking? And and eating together, we know it will be more fun. I think we're just so focused on the mess or like the expectation of like, come in, you know, like, but it's not Downton Abbey. We don't live in Downton Abbey. And so we're not like going to have people serving us. So we might as well like make it work the best way that we can.
Right. No, that's, I actually am going to do better I'm going to get better. I'm acting like I'm sick or something, but I'm going to try harder when people come, not to freak out about the mess.
Yeah, I think that's something we can all work on.
No, but like you said, there's a deeper philosophy there. It's not about the mess. It's about me wanting perfection and me thinking my place being perfectly clean when there are 10 people over. That's what perfection is, and that's what I strive for. So I have to lower my expectations, or just like you just said, not be so focused on perfection and just be focused on the moment and accept wherever I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I think I may have mentioned to you, but I read this book when I turned 40. I was reading this book, and I've read it like 3 or 4 times because it's real light reading, called Be Here Now, called You Are Here. I think it's called You Are Here.
Yeah, the book you gave me.
Yes.
Yeah, the book you gave me. That ultimately helped me with my sleep problems, which is a whole different topic.
Yeah, so we'll have to talk about that another time. But that book, You Are Here, and it ties closely to something that we say in our house, which is Be Here Now, kind of being in the present moment. Because I think perfection is a thief when it comes to enjoying what's happening to you right now in this present moment. And that sounds like a really profound statement, and I say it as if like, of course, perfection is a thief and it steals you. But like, it took me probably like 38 years to figure that out. And then the 39th year, I was kind of like, I think there might be a drawback to being a perfectionist. Like, I might want to rethink this, you know? And everyone I knew, all my friends and family and coworkers were like, yes, let it go. Like, stop being a perfectionist.
Yeah. Well, you never understand, right? It's just all words. And then at some point when you know the words intellectually, and then after your experiences, you can finally kind of put it together and say, okay, I get it. I'm starting to get this idea of being present. What I like is to get tangible advice, and I like what the book said about being okay with the negative, being okay with the fear, being okay with the insecurity, and to embrace that and to treat it like your child and to love them and to hug it and work together. And for me, and we'll talk about this later, but for me, for sleep, it really helped because it made me accept where I am. And from perfection was I got to have 8 hours of sleep every night, realizing it's okay if I don't, and it's okay for me to be fearful.
That's such a beautiful thought, because tying it back to the perfection about entertaining and having people over, just bringing it back to that.
Right.
To have this thought in your mind that if things don't go according to the schedule or the plan, that I've failed was hard. Right. And so that's to really break it down. Like, obviously we're complex people and there's a lot more layers to it, but to really break it down, that's what it was. It's like, I have failed. And the truth is, our family came to visit. I had laundry in a basket in my room, and I had someone staying in our room one of the nights. They didn't care. It didn't matter. Like, I stopped myself from being like, sorry, it's a mess, you know, because I was like, let it go. It doesn't matter. They don't think it's a mess. They have no idea what it looks like on a normal basis.
Right.
And I have no idea.
We say sorry too much.
Yeah. And
we say sorry too much.
Absolutely.
Too. Yeah.
And you know, the other thing is, like, I have no idea what their room looks like. So like, I might say like, sorry, this is a mess.
Right.
And then I'm spawning like some type of perfection expectation thing in them, because they're like, oh my gosh, she thinks this is messy. My house is a dive, right? And so we like create these layers and layers of complexity for each other. So I stopped myself. I was like, here's our room. You are welcome to, you know, anything that you need, let me know, that kind of thing. And I just left it at that. And I was like, I don't need to apologize. We're here to have fun, and we're here to like talk and stay up. We stayed up like till 2 or 3 every night looking at old photo albums and old pictures, and we focused on that and focused on the good stuff. And like you said, when they were looking back at their pictures of being a kid and this train trip that they took somewhere, or like this time they went to Niagara Falls, and they're all giggling and laughing, they don't remember they have no insight and don't remember what their parents were struggling with that day. And so that's the goal.
They don't remember the mess around them. They don't remember any of that.
No. And I looked at the pictures, by the way, Lisa. I looked at the pictures. There's a mess in the background for sure.
Find the mess.
Yeah, make yourselves feel better. Okay, that was lots of fun. Next time I will be less sleep deprived, and Maybe we should talk about sleep, because that's something you and I have talked about a lot.
I would love to talk about sleep. I'm very passionate about the subject. Might be my next documentary after this one about moms.
Oh, that would be awesome. Okay, so we'll definitely do that next time. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for the conversation and the friendship.
It was great.
And thank you all for joining us for this episode of It's Your Time to Shine, a podcast about being a mom in a modern world, with or without a family reunion, and with or without lots of sleep. Talk to you soon.